Approved! Approved! I don't know.
Rockelle is one of the most well-known teen influencers on YouTube. With millions of followers, brand deals, and a seemingly glamorous life, she has everything a young creator could want. Or does she? Behind the scenes, her life is far from normal. Allegations of exploitation, manipulation, and even abuse have followed her and her mother, Tiffany Smith, for years. And now, with Piper on the verge of turning 18, there's growing concern that she could soon take an even darker path, one that has destroyed many young stars before her. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the disturbing reality of Piper Rockelle's career, her mother's control, and the growing fear that she will soon join Bop House, a group that is already raising red flags for its controversial content and connections to explicit material. Is Piper about to be exploited even further? And what can be done to stop this before it's too late? Piper Rockelle first gained attention on YouTube as a child. Her videos were fun, energetic, and full of goofy skits and challenges that appealed to a young audience. On the surface, it all seemed like an innocent, playful career. But behind the camera, things weren't as lighthearted as they appeared. Piper's mother, Tiffany Smith, has been her manager from the start. While parental involvement in child influencers' careers isn't unusual, Tiffany's control over Piper has been heavily scrutinized. She is accused of treating her daughter's career as a business, rather than protecting her as a child. In 2022, a group of former members of The Squad, Piper's influencers friend group, filed a lawsuit against Tiffany Smith, alleging emotional, physical, and even sexual abuse. The accusations are disturbing. Tiffany was allegedly aggressive, controlling, and even engaged in inappropriate behavior around the children. Some claim she used explicit and obscene language around them, made inappropriate jokes, and even encouraged content that was way too mature for their age. The lawsuit also alleged that Tiffany sabotaged the YouTube careers of Squad members who tried to leave. If a child influencer wanted to move on, their channels would mysteriously lose revenue or face copyright strikes, allegedly orchestrated by Tiffany herself. Instead of being in school or living a normal childhood, Piper and her friends were forced to work up to 12 hours a day making content, with little time for education or personal growth. One of the biggest concerns surrounding Piper's career is the sexualization of minors in the influencer industry. Piper started out making fun and innocent content, but as she grew older, the style of her videos changed. Her Instagram and TikTok are now full of content that many believe is too mature for a minor. Social media has created an environment where young influencers are pressured to appear older than they are. Piper's mother has defended her choices, claiming that the content is just fashion and self-expression, but many see it as exploitation, especially considering her audience consists mostly of children and adults who shouldn't be watching a 17-year-old at all. And this brings us to the most concerning development yet: Piper's potential connection to Bop House. For those unfamiliar, Bop House is a content group that has gained infamy for its controversial approach to social media. While it may seem like just another influencer house, many of its members have ties to explicit content, adult entertainment, and highly questionable business practices. There have already been major controversies surrounding some of its members, and critics have pointed out that the group blurs the line between influencer culture and adult content. Several Bop House creators started as young influencers, just like Piper, before transitioning into more explicit work. With Piper turning 18 soon, in August 2025, fans are deeply concerned that she will follow in the same footsteps. She already interacts with some Bop House members, and given her mother's history of controlling her career, many believe that Tiffany might push her toward this path for financial gain. If Piper joins Bop House, she won't just be making influencer content. She'll be stepping into an industry where young women are frequently exploited, pressured into mature content, and stripped of any normal life. Many influencers who took this path regret it later, but by then, the damage is already done. They face mental health struggles, difficulty escaping their online persona, and in some cases, financial ruin. And the worst part, Piper has never had a chance to live a normal life. She has spent her entire childhood under the control of her mother, performing for a camera and making money for adults around her. She doesn't know any different, and this makes her even more vulnerable. Fans are concerned about her recent posts, where she calls her own self a bop. That's just sad. Piper, you're not a bop. You are a 17-year-old child. Some comments under this reel are about how nobody is forcing Piper to be a bop. But what if her mother actually forces her? So, what can be done? How do we protect young influencers like Piper? For starters, platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram need better regulations to protect minors from exploitation. Right now, there is very little oversight, and cases like Piper's continue to happen. More importantly, people need to be aware of the dangers of child influencers. Piper Rockelle's story is not just about one girl. It's about a system that allows young children to be monetized, exploited, and eventually discarded. Piper deserves better. She deserves a childhood, an education, and the chance to grow up without being treated like a product. If she does join Bop House when she turns 18, it will only prove that the people around her never had her best interests at heart. In her most recent video, where she posted about her daily routine as a content creator, she talks about how she should create content to keep a roof over her head. She is only just 17. That's her parents' job. If she's so tired of doing it, she shouldn't have to do it to keep a roof over my head. Girl, you're a child that isn't your job. It's so sad. She also gets a lot of sarcastic comments such as, "Congratulations, new subscriber, Drake. This is honestly getting out of hand, and it's getting harder to defend her." The question is, will anyone step in before it's too late? Netflix wasted no time addressing the controversy surrounding Piper Rockelle's upbringing and her mother, Tiffany Rockelle Smith. Just 2 weeks after Piper collaborated with the Bop House, Netflix released a trailer for its upcoming 3-part docu-series, Bad Influence: The Dark Side of Kid Influencing. This documentary aims to expose the dark reality behind child influencers, focusing heavily on the allegations against Tiffany Rockelle Smith. The lawsuit against her, which initially sought $22 million but was settled for $1.85 million, accused her of engaging in deeply disturbing behavior toward multiple children who were once part of Piper's social circle. Some of those former members, Sophie Fergi, Claire Rock Smith, Piper's cousin, Sawyer Sharbino, and Reagan Beast, are featured in the documentary, giving their accounts of what allegedly took place. The documentary has sparked a massive wave of reactions online, with some applauding Netflix for shedding light on the exploitation of child influencers, while others argue that the series is being made purely for publicity. Some have even suggested that Netflix should have waited until Piper turned 18 to release it, as she is still a minor living under her mother's control. Following the trailer's release, Piper took to TikTok, sharing an emotional video in which she appeared on the verge of tears. She captioned it, "No more Netflix and chill for me," hinting at her distress over the documentary. In another concerning post, she expressed uncertainty about her future, saying, "I want to talk about a few things I'd like to accomplish if I make it to December," leading many to worry about her mental state. Tiffany, on the other hand, has denied all allegations, claiming that the lawsuit and now the documentary are part of a coordinated attack fueled by jealousy over Piper's success. Alleged leaked DMs from Piper's account, which many suspect were actually written by Tiffany, describe the documentary as lies made by people desperate for clout. These messages also threaten legal action against those discussing the documentary, further fueling speculation that Tiffany is still heavily controlling Piper's narrative. While some former members of Piper's friend group fully support the documentary, others have expressed skepticism. Jensen Ramirez, a former squad member, questioned the purpose of the series, stating, "If we are all so traumatized, why are we making a documentary just to relive it all? Personally, I just want to forget and move on." Sophie Fergi and Claire Rock Smith fired back at this mindset, arguing that bringing awareness to child influencer exploitation is necessary, and that sweeping their experiences under the rug only enables further abuse. Beyond just Piper and Tiffany, Bad Influence aims to highlight the wider issue of child influencer exploitation. In recent years, similar concerns have been raised about Danielle Cohn, Jenny Poach, and even the infamous 8 Passengers family. Many are hopeful that this documentary will not only expose past abuses, but also push for stronger legal protections. For children working in the influencer industry, Bad Influence, The Dark Side of Kid Influencing, is set to premiere on Netflix on April 9th. Will it change public perception of Piper? Will it bring real justice? Only time will tell. What do you think about Piper Rockelle's situation? Do you think she will join Bop House? And do you believe platforms should do more to protect child influencers? Let's discuss in the comments below. Before we wrap up, I'm super excited to reveal that TeaWiis is the official name for our fandom. Welcome to the family, where we spill the truth and protect young influencers together. Thank you for watching until the end. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe to join the fam, and share to help spread awareness. Until next time, stay informed, stay critical, and protect young influencers before it's too late.
Promise you you'll catch me.